What's going on, everybody? Today is Wednesday, November 7th, 2012. I'm Kevin Sixen Carlino, and this is episode number 8 of my Blizzard All-Stars series. Today's episode is going to be all about the neutral boss encounter for Blizzard All-Stars. Now, if you guys keep in mind things like how Roshan worked for Dota 2, or Baron for League of Legends, Caldwell for Heroes of New Earth, etc., that's exactly how this is going to go down. Basically, you run to a neutral camp in the jungle, and you find this giant boss, and you have this nice little encounter that's going to require several players in order to take him down. The only difference, again, here is going to be the result, so the reward you actually get for slaying this boss. Now, you're probably wondering if this is just, another jungle camp. Why did I split this up from last week's episode? Again, last week's episode was how jungling is going to work, what kinds of neutral camps there are. Again, specifically, there's the Ogre camp, which is capturable, in addition to the Ogre King camp, which is farmable, so it just gets you more golden experience. Again, this episode is explaining that there's a third camp, again, being this boss encounter. So why is it that I split this up? I'm going to touch on that just after we check out a nice little trailer. Again, the difference between this boss battle and games like Dota, LoL, or Han is the result. So exactly what you gain from killing this boss. Let's get into it. So as you guys can see here, the Stone Zealot is just hanging out in his nice little own camp. It's going to take 3 players to get down. Supposedly these are high-level players. This is going to be a higher-level boss encounter. If you guys remember from last week's episode, I said that there would be level tags there, so you'll probably see something like level 15, 17, etc. group, which means, again, you need several players from your group in order to conquer this, in addition to the number of players. So as you guys can see here, again, it's a Stone Zealot. They've just killed him, and now he's going to actually run to the lane and fight for you, very similar to how Super Creep worked in Dota 1. Now, also, Blizzard's toying around with the idea of not using a Stone Zealot and using like a Cyber Ninja kind of a model for this generic Blizzard All-Stars map. I'm going to touch on that in just a minute, though. So as you guys can see, he's actually outranging the range creep here, in addition to, obviously, the melee creep. He's also going to run up here and start taking down this tower, which he also outranges, very similar to a Siege hero. So as you guys can see, if the other team doesn't respond, the red team's going to be able to push this down really quickly, so this lane is going down pretty fast. Big problem. So again, why is it that I split this up? Well, I mentioned this a little bit ago. So Blizzard's toying around with using a Cyber Ninja for this generic All-Stars map. In addition, this boss battle might be different on a per-map basis, so I'm going to touch on that more next week. Blizzard's toying around with the idea of adding different maps. What do you mean, Sixen? So basically, Blizzard's toying around with, yes, they're going to have this generic Blizzard All-Stars Cyber World map. In addition, maybe we'll fight in Tristram, and Diablo will be the main boss, instead of this Stone Zealot or Cyber Ninja guy. We might fight in Onyxia's lair, in which case we would fight Onyxia, the dragon. She would be the main boss. So things of this nature. So everything's possible. It seems like there's endless possibilities here, especially because they can use anything from literally any of their games, from any of their franchises. So again, what does this add to your team? It adds a ton of aggression, especially if you get your whole team behind it. Because now that tower's going down way fast, because not only is your team focusing down, but you also have this mega creep there. In addition, it creates like this game-wide alert. It adds a big red skull in the mini-maps. This is a big thing. This is going to be pretty huge. As far as how this is going to work, I'm assuming he's probably going to respawn every X minutes, something along those lines, similar to how Dota works. Otherwise, guys, I think that's going to wrap up today's episode. Again, this is a very important factor in the game. Make sure you're jungling. Make sure you're taking down the boss, because, again, all it does is add a nice lane pusher. And what does lane pusher do? Helps with aggression, gets you those health globes, ends the game faster, and sways the battle in your favor. So very important. Anyway, guys, this is going to wrap up today's episode. Again, like I mentioned, next week's episode is going to be all about maps and the environment, the maps, and I think I'm going to touch on the lore a little bit. That'll be fun. Otherwise, guys, let me know what you think about this boss battle mechanic below. Obviously, this boss battle is very similar to other games, but let me know what you think about the result, because, again, it's very different. Because instead of getting a buff or getting money and gold, or obviously, the Aegis from Dota 2, you get an extra huge super creep to fight for you. So it's very interesting, and it also follows along the same lines with their other jungle camps, like the Ogre camp that you can capture. So it works out very well for their particular ideals. So again, let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Otherwise, next week's going to be maps. If you guys enjoying the series, follow my Twitter, @Sixen, like the video, subscribe to my YouTube channel, all kinds of good stuff. Otherwise, guys, take it easy and have a great time.